Thank you all for joining. Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you who are joining from different parts of the world. My name is Deep, and I'm the CEO of Deep Longevity. I've spoken with some of you before. Some of you are probably listening to me for the first time. So, for everybody's benefit, I'm going to split my session in two parts. I'll very quickly cover a few slides, which will give you an overview about the company, what is that we are doing, and then very quickly I will pivot to the Senoclock platform and then spend most of the time today on the platform, and then you will get to understand our technology directly via the platform. So at Deep Longevity, I'll skip the slides. We are creating a portfolio of aging clocks. These aging clocks are focused on predicting biological age as against chronological age. Our research has revealed that biological age is the true measure of health and aging. We have 3 clocks that we are commercializing today. That's our blood age clock, our mind age or psychological clock, as well as the epigenetic age, the deep age clock. The others are in our research pipeline. It's important for me to highlight what is that we don't do as well. So we are a B2B company. We work with enterprises, we work with hospitals, providers, insurers, employers, and we expect our customers to own the data of their customers, employees, and stakeholders. So this data needs to come to us in a digital form. So we are not a diagnostic company. We don't take any sort of measurements. We don't have any labs. So we are a software company. We would need this data to be shared with us in a digital form, which we will process using our proprietary algorithms to predict biological age as well as give health recommendations. So few more minutes on the slides and then I will go to the Senoclock platform. This is what we are measuring in blood age. Our model looks at 45 markers. We don't need necessarily all the markers to be present in any blood report, but as long as we have a decent mix, a good mix of the markers, a good number would be anywhere from 25 to 30, but even a bit lower is fine. Then we are able to make an accurate prediction in terms of the health as well as the biological age. So let's look at the platform now, and I maybe come back to the slides later for more information. So this is the Senoclock platform. This is what will be accessible to any of our customers who subscribe to our technology. Now, depending upon which clock you are using, you would be able to see blood age and mind age both, or just one of them. So let's start with a short demo of the blood age. I'm going to go here and click Browse. And I'm going to choose some files. So I'll do that quickly because it takes a few minutes for the file to process. You can see I am picking up files from different parts of the world. So it doesn't matter what format it is, what language it is, we are able to handle all that complexity at our end. We just need a few samples to be shared with us beforehand. So we make sure that it is working 100% with our models. So I choose the files, and this is what you do as an employer. There could be someone in your HR, in your admin, who has the reports from all the screenings from the employees, and then you can pick it up from any common location. You could do a batch upload one time, and you can you can click here and say generate report. So while this is happening, you see here I'm the BU2, the total tests uploaded are 37, reports processed are 26, and we'll see if this numbers changes. And from 37, it has become 42. So I'll show this in a minute, but I just wanted to show first what a sample blood report looks like, right? And this is one from LabCorp, Quest. We have seen all of them. And more or less, they have similar information. There'll be information about the user, and then you have series of markers and their values and their units and the reference ranges. Now, most people and the layman and the common person who is not very tuned to health doesn't really get much from this report. You have spent the effort, you have spent the money, you have taken time out, you have gone to the lab, given the sample. What you get back is this, which is useful only to a physician. So the physician, the doctor who looks at this will see and will decide, okay, looks like there are certain markers here which needs attention, and then have a conversation with you regarding your health. Otherwise, it is very non-intuitive. So we have taken this report, we've taken this exact report and a few others, and we uploaded them on Senoclock, and you can see the report process count has also gone up. So if I click here, and it just took a minute or two, and all these reports 18th May has been uploaded. They have been processed. So let's open one of them here. So again, the idea is you click, you download, you get a copy of the report, and then all you have to do is share it back with the employee or the customer from whom you have received the report. So I downloaded the report. You can see it was the clinic Grad English report, and I'm going to open that now. Okay. So this is an actual blood summary report of a 61-year-old male, and we see the blood age or the biological age. We see an optimal age. I'll explain what that means. We see how this person is doing with respect to our database, and this is the projection into the population, and only 1/3 of the people are actually younger than this person, so he's doing very well. We take this opportunity to actually highlight what markers are outside range. So this is already relevant information coming the way of the user. So the user knows that, these are my markers which are in red, and perhaps this is where my conversation should be focused on when I'm in front of a physician. We provide organ health scores looking at the overall set of markers. We need all the markers to be present. The organ health scores, there are 4 of them, which is kidney, liver, lipid, and glucose. And for this person, besides lipid, everything else looks to be fine. The report is really transparent. We break down every marker, and we highlight which are the ones that are aging markers, which are the ones that are anti-aging markers. So the ones that are in red, you can see they are aging markers, and the ones that are green are the anti-aging markers. Then the algorithm looks at the most significant aging markers and then proposes how the pace of aging can be reduced by addressing those aging markers. So in this case, the significant markers that are driving aging are red blood cells, creatinine, and MCH. And the algorithm looking at the database is suggesting that the person can actually take some supplements or even make some lifestyle changes like reducing the protein intake. Again, this can be a good point of discussion with the physician that, okay, do I need to start with 3 supplements? Maybe not. Maybe I can start with one of them or a couple of them. And then the physician can prescribe or suggest what should be the dosage, what should be the frequency, and things like that. The report breaks down every marker as in terms of impact tiers. Those that are in positive are aging markers, and those that are negative are anti-aging markers. And therefore, the blood age is the sum of the chronological age and the impact years of aging and anti-aging markers. We have taken the clinical report and put it in the blood summary report, so the user doesn't have the need to refer to two reports. They can just work out of the blood summary report. Finally, we explain what an organ health score is. We explain what are the markers that are used to calculate the organ health scores. And then we also explain why we are suggesting those supplements. What does the supplement actually do? Or what does that lifestyle change do? So there is also slight education, patient education that is happening here, the user education that is happening here. The user begins to understand their health better, and invariably that drives better behavior in terms of improving health. Okay, so back to Senoclock. So we saw, and to summarize, the application is really simple. We'll give you access. You could collect all the screenings, all the blood work of your employees, of your customers. You could upload them at one go. You could do them in batches of 20, 30, 40. The application will take, depending upon the number of files, a few minutes, maybe an hour to process all of them. Then you can go and on the day download each one of them. The file name would be retained, so you would know which file belongs to which user. The user ID would be there if one is present in the report itself, and then you can take that report and send it across. Now there is some additional functionality that we are planning to build. Some of that is already there in MindAge, and we'll look to bring that into BloodAge in the next few months, which will make some of these transactions even easier. And you'll be able to visualize this once I go to MindAge. But before I do a demo on MindAge, let me go back to the presentation and I will explain a few things in terms of how MindAge has been built. So with MindAge, and I'll show you in a minute, the premise is really simple. You have a questionnaire. This questionnaire is answered by the user, could be answered by the user directly, and you will see in the functionality how that is, or it could be administered by a doctor, a physician, an admin, an HR, someone face-to-face or even over a phone, whatever is convenient. That questionnaire is uploaded on Senoclock. Senoclock compares this with a chronological age. It generates a MindAge. It then has a psychological profile. Now, based on the psychological profile, the algorithm will propose interventions. These are tailored content that has been prepared with the help of psychologists, and this tailored content is supposed to be actionable tips for the user to work on. User can take its time, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, finish all of those actions. That's a set of 12 actions, and then come and repeat the survey to continue to be on the wellness path. So just taking a peek under the hood, the way MindAge works is the psychological profile is created across 6 well-being parameters. Based on that, the AI determines an island of emotional stability and projects that on a grid. At the same time, the algorithm is also determining what is the higher plane of wellness and how can a person traverse that journey. And this journey is unique for every person, and that is where the personalization comes in. And the idea is that this is supposed to help all of us. It's not about just about people who have poor mental health, and we have some very interesting findings about that. But it is for all of us a platform, a tool to take mental health, conscious about mental health, take mental health seriously, and actually do something about it and have something actionable in front of us, which will enable us to build our resilience and improve our mental health and well-being. I'll go to the report, but I wanted to touch upon this study where we looked at the adult population in China from the China Health and Retirement longitudinal study. We looked at their blood work using our blood age. We looked at some of the biometrics that they had, and then we looked at the psychological state. And what came out, and some of this information was known to us beforehand, but something which was really striking from this study, like we knew people who are single or who live in rural areas or men, they have a faster pace of aging. But what came out as a very significant factor is that people who have poor psychological state, they have much higher pace of aging, and this is even higher than smoking. So a poor psychological state is actually worse than being a smoker, and we all know how bad smoking is. So I'll go back to Senoclock, and you will find MindAge a lot more exciting because there's a lot more functionality that we have built here. And you can imagine some of this coming into Blood Age again in a few months. So the user experience, we have tried to keep it quite similar to Blood Age, and then we have added more functionality. So there's a questionnaire, like I mentioned. This is how it looks. We have 24 questions. This can be administered. Like if the person is not available or is not comfortable doing it themselves, then the person can actually administer it from the office on behalf of this person. These questions like what I want out of life, I live one day at a time. All of them is on a scale of 1 to 7. I have pre-filled that. Let me go and make some changes here. Let's say this is 6. Let's say this is 2. I'll make some changes. 2. There is an external ID to identify, and this could be an employee ID. This could be a proxy ID that you have created to identify every person in your organization. We need the age and the gender. We need that for all our aging clocks. So I save this, and this is the file name, and let me find this file. Okay, you can see 1718 today. I just saved this file, so I'm going to upload this here. And then I click generate report. Test uploaded, the count is 3. The reports processed, the count is 2. And if we click here, we'll see this was processing, and now this is done. Now I could do a few things. I can go and look at this individual record, or I can download the report, and similar to Blood Age, you could download the report and then you can share it with the person using email or any other mechanism that you are comfortable with. So let me download this report. This report gets downloaded, and let's see how it looks. We have MindAge report from Senoclock. We have the cover page. Now this can be co-branded. This is just a sample name and a logo. So this could be your company's name and logo that we put in here. We have the chronological age. We have the MindAge. We have a comparison, how this is with respect to the others, and this is from our database. We explain what does mind age mean. It's most typical for people of a certain age group, and usually the higher mind age indicates poor psychological state, which has stress and other issues. And this is where the magic begins to happen. So we are looking at the psychological profile across the 6 well-being parameters of positive relations with others, self-acceptance, autonomy, personal growth, environmental mastery, purpose in life. We have scores. The scores they traverse 3 zones of distress, improve, and comfort. And then we explain what these parameters are. Right? So we do want people to understand their health better, and our approach and philosophy has been that if people really understand what is happening with their health, really understand whether this is biological or it is psychological, then it's easy or slightly easier for them to do something about it and look to change. So we take every well-being parameter and then we explain what that means. So if you look at positive relations with others, the definition is deep, meaningful connections with your family, friends, and colleagues. What does a high score mean? You have people you can rely on in difficult situations. Others see you as a giving person and you are ready to make compromises to build strong relationships. What does a low score mean? You're lacking a support network and unable to build close, trusting relationships. You feel isolated and may suffer from social anxiety. And then you have the score. So now the person can imagine, okay, my score is high, so I'm sort of in this bracket and sort of relate to this. This is reflecting my personality. This is reflecting the person that I am. Or have this acknowledge that, okay, I do have a low score and maybe there are these areas in my life where I need help. And help is not very far away. Now, the algorithm has looked at the entire psychological profile, has looked at the scores, and it knows which areas needs to be worked on first, which areas needs to be reinforced, which areas needs to be supported so they stay and the overall well-being is improved. So we have the recommendation. The recommendation is an assertion and a confirmation you are unique. And then there's a description. Now this description is a little about social media where one can lose the uniqueness, and we know this is present sort of everywhere, and the recommendation is write a list of what makes you unique. Look over this list each day of this week. Similarly, be open about your past. So we have very deliberately left a little bit of space here where if a person wants, they can take notes. Now they can do it elsewhere. They may have their own journal. We do believe that journaling helps. There have been a number of studies which shows journaling helps. So we wanted to provide this feature. This is PDF. You can go to tools. You could do fill and sign, and you can come here and you can write, I am a great friend. And you can write something else that you think is unique about you. I am good at chess or video game or something, or I'm funny. And then you can save this, and then you can look at this and remind yourself. And we have this feature for all of these, all the recommendations. So you can then save the file, and you could, at some point in time, if you are looking to meet a therapist, and email this to your therapist, or just keep this for your own records and keep referring to them over a period of time. The recommendation rating is actually for us to sort of get some feedback from our customers. This is more easier when we do it via APIs, and we do provide our technology using APIs as well. But we are happy to get some someone circle these numbers and send it back to us if they will. But that's completely optional. It can be ignored. So like I said, we have 12 recommendations. Find your hope, identify your tribe, give your colleagues a smile, aim for progress, not perfection, present journaling, seek challenges. And a lot of this, the nature of the people you're working with and the data that we have is oriented towards the working population, is oriented towards professionals, and we think this would help them significantly. Okay, so quite a few other interesting things to be shown on MindAge. I just wanted to get the report part out of the way. To reiterate, you saw, like in BloodAge, you have the mechanism of administering a report using a simple Excel sheet, and you could have a sheet like that for every employee in your organization, have a discussion, a phone call, fill the survey, upload the file, download the MindAge summary report, and then email it to them or send it to them over WhatsApp, whatever is easier for you. But you can actually send them the link as well. This is something they may want to think about and may not be very easy for them to answer. Some of the questions are wonky, a little wonky by design, so they may want to do that themselves. So what you could do is you can click on Go to Survey, and you can enter the user ID of the employee. So let's say I have 109999 and I click on New Survey Link. So when I do that, the system is going to generate a unique link, and now this link has been mapped to this user, and this user record gets created in our application. So you copy this. I'd like you to pay attention, and you will realize that we are not capturing any personal information in this process. We will have at some point in time an email, because we would like to send the emails from the system to reduce the workload on one HR or admin doing that. As of now, we don't have it, but with this system, there is actually no information that we collect about the employee. So this link has been created, and you could again email this separately, or you could send this over some other channels to the person. So what happens is this URL is sent to that person. He sees that, or she sees that on their email or on their phone, and then they are clicking on that. So when they click on that, they see this form. You see at the bottom, there are 24 questions. You can enter the gender. Let's say I am female and I'm 47. And then I begin to think about and answer this question. So I can do it at my own leisure, at home, after work, over the weekend. And I'm now asking these questions to myself. Is this world too complex for me? Yeah, I think I will agree. I can rely on my friends if I have a serious problem. Yeah, maybe few. Do I feel disappointed? And so on and so forth. So it's a mix. Each one of the questions are built in a way which actually forces the person to think where they are in the journey of life. I'm going to go through some of this quickly because this is a demo and I want to save time. Each question you click, the counter reduces. So now there are 19 questions left. So let me finish this quickly. Last 4 questions. And I'm done. So the survey has been submitted. Here you see the total survey count is 0. Let's close this. Let's get back here. If I refresh the screen, it's a demo, it's a bit slow. You see the survey count has gone up. So you now know that a survey has been submitted and a MindAge report will be generated. So you can actually click here, and you can click on the button, and you can go and actually see the report for yourself, so you know what is happening with this person. And these are all configurable. If this is something that you don't think the admin or the employer should have access, then we can turn that off, and you can download this report. So, or you can go to the patient record, and here, and I'll show you some other records as well. You see the chronological age, female. You see the mind age. You see the mind age is the same as the chronological age, which is good. It is not older. You see various scores, and you can download the report. And the report, we won't go through that again. You can see the report has the ID, so you can easily identify which report belongs to whom. And it is again something similar. The recommendations should be different, and that's what I meant when I showed the slide before, where every person has a unique pathway and a unique set of recommendations that goes based upon where they are in their individual journey. So I'll come back to mind age, and what I'd like to show you is, let me pick another record. Let's pick this one. So this is a dashboard of a user who has a number of mind age reports. So we are showing the last 5 records. We are showing the personal growth. We are showing how each parameter has been changing, and some of this are demo data, so you see the dates, but ideally person would look at the report, look at the recommendations, take a few weeks to complete that, and we do want the person to sort of come back and do that again, right? At least once a month, and have this as sort of a resilience practice that they build in their life, and then they can actually track, right? And you can see how each one of those parameters are changing with time. As of now, the way we have built the application, this is all available with the admin, but we are speaking with many employers and organizations, and we are getting a sense that this would be useful to give access to this to the end user, and we are sort of working towards that already. So we are going to update the application to bring that facility in Senoclock. But you have history, so now you know how mind age is and how the various parameters have changed over time. You can see each mind age report. You can click on any one of them, and you can see what has been the score, what has been the recommendations, and you can then go through that. I think this is pretty much everything that we have on the application. There is some statistics, and this is very basic statistics. We are going to build more. This sort of just shows what's your consumption at an organization level. If you have different branches in different cities, so they can be represented here, and they can have their different names, different offices. Or if you just have one, then you'll just see one. And then you can filter here in terms of different months, different date ranges, different aging clocks, and find reports based on them, based on your filters. Many other questions in the past. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like I promised, I won't do a lot of slides, and I wanted to show you the Senoclock platform. This is the platform that you would be using if you were to adopt our aging clocks. We are a SaaS company, so we are rapidly building, rapidly innovating. We are going to bring the functionality that you saw in Mind Age into Blood Age, and then we are actually looking to enable employees to actually do a lot of things on their own. So the idea is we should be, like you saw, the link can be shared with the employees, so the employees can actually log in, they can upload the reports, they can see their own statistics, they can see their own dashboards. Some of those dashboards exist on the application only. We don't have the facility to download them, but we are going to build that as well, so they could actually download them as PDFs, and then based on that share it with their physicians. So stay tuned. I request you to follow us on LinkedIn or whichever medium you are. We do exist across various social media where we keep posting our updates and challenges. So the next set of updates we bring to the platform, we will talk about that, and feel free to reach out to me directly and connect with me if you want more information.